the program Get to Know Your County Commissioner. I'm Freisa Davila. We caught up with District 10 Commissioner, Senator Javier Souto, to speak to us about projects and events in his district and a topic that affects our community and the world, human rights and freedom. We asked Senator Souto to highlight the significance of the Francisco Human Rights Park in Westchester.
We have this Human Rights Park. It's composed of a group of mini parks, beginning with the Felix Varela Monument at the entrance on Coral Way. Many of these structures and things have been built with the monies of friends and families. And Felix Varela was a priest in Cuba who was elected to the courts in Spain when Cuba was a colony of Spain. And they elected people to the courts. They didn't have any rights. It was not a democracy, of course, but these guys were elected to represent, to say something about the problems there. Varela in Spain, being a Cuban priest, a very bright writer and educator. Varela in Spain in those days presented the case of Cuba being a colony and under oppression and so on. And he had to leave Spain in a hurry. Florida in those days was part of Spain, and his granddad was the military governor of Florida, and in San Augustine, Florida. And so friends put him aboard a ship and told him, you gotta live. And he came to St. Augustine. He came to St. Augustine with his family. He was a priest also, I think, more or less at the same time. He was sent to be a priest in New York City. He was a priest with the poor guys in old New York. I think it was in the area of where the Irish people were and so on. Helped them a lot. And that was Varela, Felix Varela. Then he got ill, he came back to San Augustine, died in San Augustine. He was buried in San Augustine. Varela was a hero because he was the guy, he was the first individual who taught the Cubans, Jose Marti and all these folks about freedom and about independence and about human rights. Then we have the Václav Havel Park, Václav Havel little park over there. Václav Havel is a hero in Czechoslovakia, in Europe, against oppression, tyranny of the communists. When the Soviet Union was controlling Czechoslovakia, he was a writer, a playwright. He spent years in jail because of that, and he was the guy who stood in front of the Russian tanks with a lot of other actors and people from the arts, and told them, go home, we don't want, and they listened to them, and so he's a hero. Václav Havel is a hero who came to Miami, visited with us. I was honored to be with him for a little while here when he visited many years ago. He's now dead. All these people are dead now, and he's a hero. So we put a plaque there on a rock in which all his actions in favor of democracy and freedom and human rights are recognized. Then we have the monument for this young lawyer here, this little monument, Antonino Diaz Poe, a young lawyer who was shot to death in Cuba, a lawyer. He was one of the founders of the Bay of Pigs. He was captured working with the underground and killed by Castro in the firing wall, again in another monkey trial. He's a hero also, gave his life for human rights. Then there's another little park back there under the gazebos on the back, the Domino's gazebos, for another guy who was also a priest, and he used to protect people persecuted in Cuba by the communists in Havana in 20, 30 years ago. He was put in jail. He did about 10 years in jail because of that. Then he was deported to Rome, finally, and he was in Rome. Then he came to New York City. He was in New York City in the same areas where Varela was, and he was a priest. And then He got ill. He died here in San Augustine, Florida. As you can see, this is a park in which you can breathe human rights. This is about human rights, and human rights are so important in our system of democracy, in our contemplated in our Constitution. It's deep in our blood, in our system, in the American style of democracy. We need human rights to function. So this is why this park is so important.
Soon, this park and the Westchester Regional Library will have a new neighbor, the Westchester Health and Wellness Center. Here's an update.
The Westchester Health and Wellness Center, it's a center owned by the people of Miami-Dade County, of course. We all own it. You own it, I own it, everybody owns it. We are all part of this great corporation called Miami-Dade County, in which the people will be able to come and get free advice from doctors, many of them professors, retired doctors, nurses. This is not a commercial enterprise. This is not a clinic. This is not here. People will come to get advice, to get guidance with their diseases, with their problems, on how to be healthier and how to conduct the proper lifestyle, how to eat right, the importance of exercise, how to keep on with life and have a more efficient, more productive life.
Senator Souto will be hosting an event at the Health and Wellness Center to honor our heroes on Patriot Day, taking place on September 11.
On 9/11, in commemoration of that very sad and tragic day in which so many thousands of Americans died and in which things in the world were changed overnight, we're going to have a walk around this building under construction behind me, because right across from us, right across a few feet away from this building, there's a station, fire rescue station, Miami-Dade County Fire Rescue Station. And this station is so important because many of these individuals who work here and work in all the other stations that we have in Miami-Dade County, they went to New York City to help when the 9/11 and the Twin Towers happened. These guys are heroes, and because of that, we want to remember them, commemorate that day, and this structure behind me, it's something that is designed to preserve life and bring health, and that's exactly what these heroes of 9/11, that's exactly what they were trying to do. So is the symbolism of that day, 9/11, and the symbolism of this building that is now, most of it is now ready. It will be inaugurated in the, middle part of the fall, I guess around November, around there. But now the building, all the shell and all that is ready. So the building is there, and people will have an idea of what it is.
We also got a first-hand view of the renovations at Kendall Soccer Park. Senator Souto fills us in.
Well, as you can see, we just renovated the whole park. It's 42 acres of park. So we renovated the 5 fields. It's 5 illuminated fields, plus the small fields for the kids. I don't know if it's 3 or 5. The park looks wonderful. This place is beautiful. You know, it's all green now with all this rain. It's all painted, clean. It's marvelous. By the way, this park is visited by over 1 million people a year, 1 million persons a year. 1 million persons a year. That's a lot of people. It's a very popular park. It's owned by the Miami-Dade County government. People, we represent the people. It's owned by the people of Miami-Dade County. We pay taxes. so it's owned by the people. It's a beautiful thing. As you can see, there are flags around here of all the nations. There's all kinds of nations here playing, meaning, families and people from, they have their own team, the Argentinians, the Brazilians, the Panamanians, the Germans, everybody plays here. Everyone plays here. This is the United Nations in Miami-Dade County. Actually, there's a famous team here. They have an academy here. It's like a farm team called the Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain is a famous French team. By the way, the team that has Messi now. Messi just went to the Paris Saint-Germain. So we hope to bring Messi here one day at some point. Maybe we can convince him to come and play a little bit here for the people. The park is full at nights. It's empty now because it's now what? It's about 1:15 or so in the afternoon. It's empty. They open now in summertime from after 5 o'clock, and they are open from 5 to 10 on weekdays. On the weekends, they open in the mornings too. Beautiful park. Very, very popular, extremely popular. It's very, very well kept by the parks department. They do a great job in keeping up all these parks, and it's owned by the people. So it was built. We built this park in 2003. It's one of my babies. I found the land. The land was county land. We didn't have to pay for the land. I found the money in county money, bonds money, our monies. We didn't have to ask for it to anybody. It's our money that we have paid, from our taxes and stuff. 2003 was built. It's 42 acres. Amazing. It's all illuminated at night. You can come here at night. There's a sidewalk around the park. You can walk around here while your kids are playing if you want. No problem with that. So it's one of those unbelievable things that we have in this great Miami-Dade County of ours, and it's owned by all of us, by everyone here.
Thank you, Senator, for taking the time to share all these updates with our community. For more information on county programs or services, call 311 or visit miamidade.gov. And be sure to connect with us on social media. I'm Freisa Davila. Thank you for joining us.